welcome back to the Ponder Podcast. Today we have an amazing topic. Today we're talking about friends, phones, and social media. As usual, we have our two hosts, myself being Matthias, and
Me being Sebastian, and just for fun, I was letting Matthias do the intro today. Because it's a good thing to let each other practice making an intro.
It went perfectly.
Yeah, it went
Went
perfectly.
swimmingly.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It really was a ride.
It seems like it's my last time or something doing an intro. Man.
Well, assuming that I'm good at it, but really I'm not.
Oh.
Anyways,
Well.
all of that aside, we're very happy to have our two listeners back for
For a recurring segment.
for the recurring segment, friends, phones, and social media topic
Mm-hmm.
segment. Yes, and I think it's spicy today. You said it before, but it
Yes.
is a good topic.
It is a good topic. We've done a little thinking beforehand and got a bunch of notes we're going to.
Yeah, we wrote down a lot of examples about stories we want to tell, people we want to use as examples, without names, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, both the good and the bad stories and the types of friendships we consider to be a part of life. So, yeah,
Mhm.
let's get right into it. So, I wrote down, as usual, some phrases to signify what we're talking about today. So, the first phrase is, I just lost the thread again. What is the word I'm looking for? It's a paragraph, sorry. Okay, and it goes, you're greatly affected by who you hang out with, so choose your company wisely. Make sure your values align and that you are on the same page about life in general. You don't want someone who drags you down. Lift each other up instead. Yes, and that's a very important statement about life because also as I've written down later down the page, you become part of who you hang out with, and the vibes that they feed you will get absorbed into your personality. So if you're around friends who are highly motivated and positive and excited about life, that'll rub off on you. If
Yes.
you're around people who constantly are negative and dragging you down and neurotic about everything, I mean, you'll end up sort of like that as well. So you have to, well, be a little picky about who you choose to hang out with. Not in the way that, you have to be super criticizing and what is the word?
Micromanaging.
Yeah, micromanaging, something like that.
Yeah.
But you have to realize that it's important for you to choose wisely when you're dealing with people around you.
Yes.
I mean, you wouldn't. We saw this quote earlier before we started the talk show. It was actually quite the coincidence on Jordan Peterson's Instagram wall. Yeah, and he said that you shouldn't have any friends for yourself that you wouldn't recommend for one in your family to have. So, for example, your sister or your brother, if they had a friend that you wouldn't recommend for them to have, don't have that kind of friend yourself. And that is an ongoing thing he talks about a lot too. Don't do something to yourself that you would not recommend somebody else do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's an interesting way to describe this friendship topic. Yeah. And we wrote down some different types of friendships that we consider to be a crucial part of life.
Yeah.
So, the first one, the one you all know, the real good friends, the real for real good friends that are there for you. Yeah, and I think we all know what that means in some way. I mean, it's the type of person who, when you need them, I mean, there for you in the good times. But when
Yes.
times get bad for you, and you need somebody to talk to or somebody to depend, or somebody to stand up against,
Yeah, the
and
people that stick
hold
by
you up. Exactly. That's the kind of person who's there for you, and yeah, it's something different than the fake friends that we're going to talk about in a while. But most people also kind of know what that is. But
Yes.
yeah, they're real good friends, and we have some examples. I mean, I'd consider for story purposes.
Yes.
I mean, you'd be one of my real good friends, and I have one other person, at the very least. I won't mention him by name, but it's the person I talked about in a few of the last videos. The vicious workaholic, the guy who just can work all the time, and he's one of my real good friends. And even though he's a very strange guy in terms of work, he's a very sentimental person, and despite that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting.
The times I've met him, he's always friendly and
Yeah,
always, tries to help you, I guess.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he might be a little arrogant in personality, but I am that myself too, I think. So I think that kind of just fits together perfectly. But even though he might be that, he's a very smart guy too. So I mean, I see where he gets it from. But yeah, and he's a good guy, despite all of this. And then, yeah, that's some examples for the good friends that you see on a normal basis. The friends you can talk to, and
Yeah.
you can tell things that you wouldn't normally tell other people.
Mm-hmm.
Then there are the good friends that might not be there in your daily life because they have moved, or you don't see them that often.
Yeah.
Because in some way you aren't able to. And we have a good example of this. We have a friend, both of us, we're like the trio.
The trio.
And he moved to Cyprus because of his mother and father moved there. And
Yeah.
he lives there now, and so we don't just get to see him that often. We actually haven't seen him since he moved there a few years ago. But we still get to talk and play games
Yes.
once in a while. Or two times a month approximately.
Yeah.
And that's a good way of keeping in contact.
Mm.
So
We do the best we can.
yeah, exactly. The situations taken into consideration.
Yeah, I think this topic is relevant for my own personal life. Growing up in Hong Kong and being born there, growing up for the first 10 years of my life there, I had some really good friends that I would consider, well, my best friends. But, when you move to a different country that's, halfway around the globe, it's hard. And, at that age, we didn't really have, Discord or any sort of social media, especially in Hong Kong. The technology scene was very limited, especially in the friend group. So, we just lost contact. But we still meet up when I come visit Hong Kong again, but it's always sort of not the same as when it was back when I lived in Hong Kong. It's always sort of superficial,
Yeah.
but it's always
like a
it's always
formality.
fun. It's always just,
Yeah.
but it's still just a formality. It's never the delight. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not as deep as it could have been. But
Yeah.
I mean, that's what
But
you get
that's
when you don't
obvi-
see each
yeah,
other
I mean,
often. Yeah.
Your personality grows in different ways,
Yeah.
and as you said, you're deeply affected by your friends, and when you're separate, you sort of drift off different directions, and then you don't follow that same path.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That's the subtopic of the real good friends.
Yeah.
The people who you are really good friends with, but you just grow apart because you
Yeah.
go in different directions.
Yeah. Difference of interest,
Yeah, precisely.
which
And
is exactly what happened. Yeah.
yeah, with your Hong Kong friends, and I have a good example of this too. And I had an amazing, a real good friend. Like, I thought when I was a kid that this was going to be the friend of my life, and I think my parents and his parents thought that too. I mean, we were like two peas in a pod. I think that's what you say.
Yeah.
That's what you call it. And we were inseparable. We hung out all the time, and we never got tired of it. Like, never. And I mean, looking back, if I could choose any time in my life to relive, it would definitely be when I was 8 to 10 years old, and I hung out with this guy all the time because it was so much fun, despite the problems, despite, I mean, having some disputes with him and all that kind of stuff, because he was a very interesting personality. He was very, very open. He was very creative, but he was very, very disagreeable too, and stubborn.
Mhm.
So you would never get the last hit in on him. He would always be the last one to have the final say. But despite this, I mean, it worked out, and he was not a bad guy. He was a good guy, I would say, at least at that point in his life. And yeah, when we got a little older, when we were in about 7th grade in the Danish school system, I was not liking the school system at that point, and I'm still not. I'm not a fan of it now, but at that point in particular, I wanted to do something different, and we went to the same school together at this point, and we had done so all of our lives. But I wanted to move schools to the international school where I met you, so it isn't that bad.
Kind of, well.
Yeah, but yeah, and I learned English and all of that, so
Yeah.
it was a good decision in the end, I think. But as a result of this moving, I just sort of lost contact with him, and I don't think me moving schools was the reason I lost the contact and the friendship with him. I think it was happening anyways, even without me doing anything. And I think the problem was that for some time he had been kind of bullied for his weight. And I mean, he wasn't like a super like fat person. He was just a little chubby. I mean, he really wasn't that bad. And I was kind of chubby as a kid too, really, honestly. But yeah, and he had been quite bullied for that. And it had like sowed this seed in him that will compel him to be like everyone else. Like he wanted to be thin like everyone else. He wanted to just be like everyone else. I don't know how else to describe that. So he just started like playing football, even though he really didn't like it, but he just wanted to do what everybody else did. He started wearing clothes like everybody else did, like being concerned about it, and yeah, he just started drifting away in that way because I didn't care about that. It didn't seem to have gotten to me at all or faced me that I should do like everybody else did, and it just kind of changed his personality, and he lost his creativity and well his openness, and he just I think he just lost all the good qualities that I saw in him, and that made us fall apart at that point in our lives. And I mean, it's a shame, but it's just how it happened. Yeah, I mean, that's the story about that. I don't think there's anything else. I mean, I've seen him a couple times since then. I mean, you met him at the school too.
Yeah,
'cause you actually go to the same school now.
Yeah, I didn't know him back then. I wasn't in Denmark at the time,
Yeah.
but I know him today as well the product that he has become now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
I don't know if
he's
there's
pretty
anything
much like
that-
everybody else now. Like not everybody else, but like you know what I mean. The general, like go party, not care kind of type that
I
goes to
can see how
high
he
school.
I can see how he wants to do things that make people like him. It's not always the most ingenious ways.
Yeah,
It's just
He kind of gives up the specialized personality for the general personality.
yeah.
But I mean, enough about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame because I really liked him when I was a kid, but it just happened this way, and I mean, so you just have to let it go, and that's the thing you can take away from this. That's my advice. I mean, when this happens, people can change. People will change, especially in this developing stage of your lives, your teenage years. People are forming and mending their personalities, and people might change it to something that they weren't before, and you just have to accept this and move on, and it's a part of life, and that's how it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next point on our list is bad friends, and we group this into two categories: fake friends and toxic friends. And let's describe those two two labels. Fake friends are the type of people who you hang out with sort of superficially. They pretend they're there for you, but when you really need them, they're not. So, yeah. And I think you know what that means out of that description.
Yes.
But they are there when the fun is there, but when the bad things come, they're gone.
Mm.
Yeah, those are the fake friends. And then the toxic friends. They are the people who make you feel bad in subtle ways when you're around them. So they sort of just criticize you subtly, make disparaging comments, or do other things that make you feel down. Yeah. And those two things don't necessarily come bundled together, but for our example that we could most easily find, those two things actually happen to come together in one person here.
Yes.
And we both know who it is because we both went to school with him. Obviously, we won't say anything about him because that not be very nice to him. But yeah, he's a very special person.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't say that he's irredeemable. Definitely not. Like
no.
I think he might have descended into some low place, like some form of hell for him. But I think if he manages to find his way out, he could do some great things. But I don't think it will be easy for him to find that light. At least not right now.
Yeah.
But yes, he's the kind of person who, when you feel that you need somebody to be close to you and you need somebody to listen to you or help you, he's not there. But when you need somebody just to go party with and have fun, he's the guy for it.
Yes.
Yes. He's a very charming guy. He's a very smart guy. He's very intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a very nihilistic guy. He does not believe that his actions have consequences that matter in the long term. And he lives his life on the get-go and gets what he can get at this moment.
He doesn't see living for the
betterment.
Of just future in general.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a matter of morals for him. It's just a matter of what can I get now?
Yeah.
And yeah, screw the consequences of it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes him a very bad friend, because you cannot rely on him. He will always ditch you for the easier route.
Yeah, I remember
Always.
a lot of opinions he had was centered around not wanting to make sacrifices that can better himself or better something else. I remember I don't know if that's too much to give away, but he said that he doesn't want kids in the future.
Yeah, and he said that it would be a poor decision to ever be married because you'd be shackled with the other person.
Yeah, he brought up
And
a point as well that each kid costs like $1 million, and
Yeah.
I suppose that's true in some way, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just a very, very short-sighted way of looking at it.
Naive way of looking at it.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been thinking more and more about the kids thing and the marriage thing, and the more the more I think about it, the more I grow to, well, I don't know what the word for that is, but be not intrigued, but be welcoming to the idea of being married and having kids. I mean, I'm not gonna do it in the, well, I don't know, near future. I don't know how many years that is, but when I'm ready, I mean, it's gonna happen sometime.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna oppose that in any way. But yeah, I think it's an important and integral part of life to do that.
Yeah.
And to lock yourself down with one person and say we're committed to each other, than to really figure things out between each other and have a committed life where you give new life to the world. And I think that's important. That is really important. But yeah, and this guy, as we kind of just swung off topic, he wasn't just a toxic friend, as we talked about before. He was also a fake friend, and yeah, he wasn't there for you when it mattered, and he would make disparaging comments and sort of just leave you down in the dirt when you were knocked down. And that isn't even metaphorically, that is literally. I mean, I remember so many times when, I'd get knocked down or fall or something, and in the dirt outside or in the hallway. I mean, somebody spin bean. What do you call that?
Tripped you or
Trip you. Yeah, trip
Yeah.
you. Okay. Getting some Danish in here. Yeah, tripping me. And I mean, he'd be the guy who I thought was my friend and would help me up at that moment, but instead he was the guy who'd stand away, point and laugh.
yeah.
And that was just, I mean, that struck a chord in me when that happened to me the first time. And yeah, my advice there is when somebody does that to you, they are not your friend. They are not your friend. Because you do not do that. Do not point and laugh at somebody who fell down. And it does not feel good. And it feels absolutely terrible. Do you have any other stories about toxic and fake friends? I mean, we talked about it just before the podcast, but
Yeah.
surprisingly we couldn't find that many examples. I mean, you could find some examples of fake friends. I mean, but that's just a general person who, you talk to, you kind of think you're friends, but when it really comes down to it, they're just not there for you, and you can't really rely on them. And we all know that kind of person. And then toxic friends. I mean, we've been very fortunate to avoid most of those people, except this one person, I think, in most of our lives.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't come up with any other examples of it.
Yeah, neither can I.
Yeah. And then we have a last point: surface friends, and this one isn't. This one is very neutral territory. It's just the kind of people you know, that you see on a regular basis. Maybe you go to school with your colleagues, your classmates.
Yeah.
People like that. People you go to activities together with, and you don't spend any extraordinary or special time or special effort to get them to hang out with you or anything like that, but you just kind of see each other at public events or parties or something like that.
Yes.
You have mutual friends. Yeah, there's not so much to say about these. I mean, those are the people who either get turned into good friends or just are there and you don't really do anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the points we had about different types of friends and the stories we had to tell about that. So, the next point, the next segment is social media and phones. And do you want to start off with that one?
Okay. What we've written down as notes is that your social media friends are not your real friends. They can often seem fake or have this virtual appearance that sort of disdains or disturbs you or sort of distances you from what really exists.
Yeah, because we all have a lot of Facebook friends or Twitter or Instagram
Yeah.
followers,
Yeah.
something like that, and we barely know any of them, to be honest. I mean, in my life, as we talked about earlier, I'd only consider myself to have about three friends at this point in my life, like two really close ones and one Marco at Cyprus. There was his name, but that's okay. We were good friends with him. He'll enjoy a shout out. Yeah, and him on Cyprus, and yeah, and I wouldn't really consider myself to have more friends than that. And the other people aren't like real friends, like I talk to on a regular basis, but they're just known people. And that's even worse on Facebook, because there aren't just known people that I see on a regular basis, but it's all the people I have pretty much ever met that I have just happened to befriend on Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just, it's also sort of it digs into the surface friends, people you meet at like an event, and then you're like, oh, okay, I'll send your friend request, I guess.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah, something, and then.
I mean, if I went
Never
into
do
my
anything.
my Facebook account and looked at my friend list, I mean, I definitely have 50 friends I barely knew that I had ever met, and like 100 friends that I have not seen in a few years.
Yeah.
And I don't even have that many friends account on Facebook. I think I have maybe 250 or something.
Mm.
And I mean, you meet people who have 1,000 to 5,000 friends on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
You just befriend
I really
everybody.
don't understand that. And
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really well.
I mean, but the message here is, don't concentrate so much on your social media appearance and focus more on the real sentimentality of meeting up with friends and doing something in person together.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of grouped it into two categories here. We looked at introverts and extroverts because the two different types of personalities generally, not always, but generally have different things you're struggling with.
Yes.
So introverts, or ourselves,
Mhm.
generally struggle with meeting new people. Our problem is not actually having good friends, it's meeting new friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So our advice here is, if you want to meet new people, the best way is to join some sort of club or activity or event that you're interested in, genuinely interested in. Because then you always have something to talk about at the event or
Yeah. The goal
the
is to
club or
find
activity.
like-minded people that you could eventually become good friends with, or
Precisely.
and not people that sort of that disinterest you or.
Precisely, because when you're an introvert, you're generally worse at the general superficial conversations.
Mhm.
And you're better at talking about something specific
Yes.
or something that you're interested in. And that helps a lot where it's way easier when you go to some club or activity or event where you're already interested in what you're going to. So that's a good advice there for how you could help yourself meet people way easier. And then for extroverts, they have the exact opposite problem. That is, they're really bad at committing to people. So, as advice for the extroverted people, go find a friend or two of all the friends you have, because you probably have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Go find one or two friends that you feel are your most personal or most best friends. Most best. Best friends. Your best friends, the ones you're most personal with, and then go get even more personal with those friends and make a real friendship. And I'm saying real friendship here, but you might already have a good friendship with them, but I'm just saying get even more real with them and talk about personal things and move a little past the superficial. Move past talking about the weather or the new movie or
I feel like
the basketball game.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of extroverts, they sort of rely on current events that they can then hook off of or go off of to talk about.
Yeah.
And while the introverts, they mainly sit down and maybe bring up something that they feel is not joyful or the opposite of that.
Yeah, precisely. Introverts are more about feelings and extroverts are more about hiding the feelings.
Yeah.
Generally. Yeah, so that's the thing for extroverts. Go find one or two of your friends that you like and that you want to get more personal with, and then have some sentimentality, sensible. Oh my god. Have some alone time with them, like some do something with them that is not like a public place or a party thing.
Yeah.
Where you get to just hang out with those few friends.
I think it's also sort of generally accepted that extroverts have more energy to do other stuff, and I think that might be because they need that to actually talk about something or to actually make connections with people. And
yeah, that's the difference people mostly talk about introverts and extroverts, is that introverts, they spend energy being with people, and extroverts sort of get energy by being with people. And that's one of the best ways to tell if you're an introvert or extrovert is do you get energy or do you spend energy by being with people? And I definitely know I'm an introvert because I get very tired out by being with people.
Yeah.
And especially when being with multiple people at a time. I mean, being one-on-one with someone, I can definitely do for a day, no problem.
Yeah, no problem.
But being with a whole group of people, or like at a concert or a festival for a day, I would be so drained out. I could not do anything for like the next 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's how you know. That is how you know. And then we have the quote we talked about earlier. It's not a quote, but it's just something I wrote down. That is, you become who you hang out with. I don't know who said this, but I think I heard this, something along the line of a quote that went like this, that you were the product of the 5 people you hung out the most with.
Mhm.
And I don't remember where it's from, but I heard it sometime
Yeah.
a long time ago, I think. But it's very true. I mean, you might not think that at first, but when you realize how much you're affected by the people who you hang out with, how much you like what they like, and how much they like what you like, I mean, you'd be surprised to see that you are partly what they are. And that is just humanity. I mean,
Yes.
we adapt to the situation at hand.
Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you hang out with people who inspire you. Yes. And that is all we have for friends and social media today.
Yeah.
I mean, we got through it. That was good.
That was nice and
Yeah.
safety.
Yeah, getting real and personal too. Oh,
Yeah.
that was good.
It was good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and before this sign-up segment, we have a really spicy one today. I think this one is good. We were really unsure
okay.
what we were going to do.
Yeah, we had no events or personal stories.
Exactly.
We really had anything to. Just a lot of introverted time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we played a lot of Dominion. That was good.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah, that's
I
always
think we
good.
talked about that last time. I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
But that's really good. Oh my
Yes.
god, I love Dominion. We should make we'll do that next week. We'll make
Gameplay?
a board game ranking.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we'll make it. Yeah.
Man, this
Just,
is gonna be a recurring segment. Just,
yeah,
ranking
ranking.
stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
you should tell
Yeah.
them what we have planned.
Yeah. Okay. We have no, just before we do that. Just before we do that.
All right.
Okay. Next week, or next week again, depending on when we hang out.
Yeah.
The next episode will be about habits, and that is such an interesting topic that we've been waiting to cover.
Oh yeah, it's spicy.
Oh, it is really spicy,
Yeah.
and it's a
there's
tough
lot to
one
talk
too. It's a
about.
difficult one.
I definitely am going to address my notes on
Oh,
different
oh,
topics. I
yeah.
really have to. There's
Oh.
a lot.
Me too, man.
Maybe we listen to maybe re-listen a book.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Power of Habit.
Or habits.
It's
that's
a good
right.
one. Yeah, and then yeah, just focus down and get your habits right the next week,
Mhm.
and all other times of course too. I know it's a lifelong journey with the habits.
Oh yeah.
It's
yeah.
a tough one, because it takes time to ingrain them, but it's important. It's what you do every day that's the most important.
Mm.
But yeah, that's the next week's topic, and we'll be continuing that as an ongoing topic for quite a few videos actually. I don't know how many, but quite a few.
Yeah.
So we'll see how long it takes. Yeah, and now for the sign-up segment. So we did a power ranking of different foods. So Matthias will name aloud some foods for me, and I will have to power rank them by
Yes.
a standard grading scale.
I think I'll be serving as the interviewer here.
Oh yeah, so you'll just name the foods, and if you have any foods you just think off your
Disagree
mind,
on-
yeah,
Oh yeah. Okay.
yeah, or subtopics for the foods,
Sure.
just name them, and then I'll rank them.
Okay, we've
Yes.
got a wide array of different foods and dishes here. But first on the list we have burrito.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. I mean, I love Mexican
I think
foods.
that's a personal favorite. of
Yeah,
yours.
exactly. Burritos is my absolute favorite food because I think you can do so many things with it. I mean, you can put just normal cow in it.
Ground beef.
Yeah, ground beef.
Cow.
Yeah, I just forgot the word for that. Thank you very much. Ground beef, and but you can also put chicken in it. I mean, chicken is good. You can vary it.
Yeah.
You can put so many greens in it.
Make
I
a
mean,
breakfast burrito even.
oh, you can put eggs in it. I mean, you can do anything with a burrito.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't like bread that much generally, but I'll forgo that for this one because I love burritos so much. So
Yeah.
burrito is an easy A+ for me.
All right. Next on the list we have eggs and this is specifically, pointed towards the breakfast side of the eggs.
Okay. Eggs for breakfast. I mean,
So,
I love eggs. I mean, I didn't like eggs a few years ago, but I have grown to adore them so much because they're such a healthy source of protein. It
Mhm.
is incredible. I mean, when you eat eggs for breakfast, it's just so noticeable how much better you feel with energy throughout the day.
yeah,
It's incredible.
definitely.
So eggs for breakfast, A plus two. I mean, you can do so many things with them. You can make an omelet. You can make
You can
scrambled
them,
eggs. You can make
fry
egg
them.
muffins.
You can fry them. You can
Egg
poach
muffins. Egg muffins. Okay,
them. Jesus.
that is the best.
Oh,
Okay, I'll tell you how to make it here. Okay, so you prepare some bacon. Bacon is amazing too. Bacon is great. Okay, you
Oh,
prepare
yeah.
some bacon,
I think we.
and then you put them in muffin forms.
Mhm.
Yes, and then you whip some eggs together in a bowl, and then you add some pesto and some cheese, and just some salt and pepper, and that's it. You just mix that, pour them in over the bacon in the forms, into the oven for like 20 minutes, and you got egg muffins. There you go. And
Yeah.
that's amazing. I love making that. That is great.
Personally, I eat eggs pretty much every morning.
Yeah.
I normally either scramble them or fry them, and then put them on toast. That's my way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you don't
like
seem to
take-
get it. Okay, that's
I like
personal
taking the time to like make the scrambled eggs and fried eggs, and in the morning, and just eating that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and what you said, how you get more full from the eggs, or during the day, it's very true. 'Cause,
Yeah.
when I eat like oatmeal or something, which is also very good, I don't feel as full as if I had eaten scrambled eggs or.
No, I mean the
fried
oatmeal
eggs.
passes a bit quicker,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
oatmeal is still quite good. We'll get to that one a bit later.
Yeah. Okay, next, fish.
Well, that depends a lot. I'm the type of person who does not like raw fish at all. I do not like sushi. I do not like it. Really, I I really do not like it. But I really, really like cooked fish. So cooked fish is, I'd say, a solid B plus for me. Like it's really good. And raw fish, somewhere like around about an E minus.
I disagree on the raw fish part. I thought. I suppose it's just because I have an Asian background. Well, not natively, but just
Yeah.
living in China, you get to eat on
Yeah, you grew up
sushi
eating
bars,
sushi.
and yeah,
I mean, you
that's
guys.
just a part of
Yeah.
life and being in Asia. But yeah, but I like it. It's good. Okay, next, a Danish dish.
Oh.
It's called frikadelle.
Frikadella. Frikadella med sovs og kartofler. That means some sort of meatballs with
Yeah, it's basically
with
meatballs,
potatoes and
falafel,
gravy.
kind of. Yeah.
Falafel? Okay.
Yeah. No.
Well, that is a good one. It's a special
Yes.
kind of meatball. It's very good. I mean, it's
Mhm.
the kind of thing that all the grandparents are just masters at making.
Yes.
It's the resident Danish grandma dish.
Yes.
And it's amazing. I mean, they do a really good job of making it. And I'd say, when my dad, sorry to my dad, when he makes it, it's like a C plus dish.
Yeah, it's just never the same.
No, but
compared to your
when my
grandmother's.
grandma makes it, it's like an A minus dish. It's really good.
Yes.
So
It's just
yeah,
never the
depends a
same.
lot on who makes it.
All right, we got another Danish dish called tadlever.
Oh, that one is a fan favorite about for every Dane ever. I mean, there is literally not a Dane who has ever tasted it who does not like it, except this one word guide somewhere in Denmark. So that's an easy A plus. I mean, we're even planning when we're going traveling the world that we'll be making this for people, just to show people how good it is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You don't see it a lot. Well, I haven't seen
No,
it at all.
you can't get it anywhere else.
It's really weird.
It's
but,
only Danish.
it's fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, next, also a Danish dish. Man, I think that's it. But we have stick flæsk
Stick
and
fest.
persilla sauce.
What do you call that in English?
I have no idea.
Fried.
It's
Yes.
fried. It's more like
Yeah, that's
it's
a good.
nice.
That's a good question. It's like
it's thick, bacon slices. It's
Okay.
it's basically bacon.
Okay,
I believe.
thick bacon slices. Yeah, because it's
it
still
is
pig.
it is
Yeah.
pork and
Yeah,
it is
pork.
the bacon back or whatever it is.
Yeah, so thick bacon slices.
Usually it's served with potatoes.
Yeah, served with
and,
potatoes and
parsley
gravy.
parsley gravy. Yeah.
Yeah, parsley gravy.
Yeah.
That is a good dish too. It's not. I don't think it's as good as Fagadilla, but I still like it. I feel like I get enough of the stick flesk very quickly, and if I eat too much of it, I get a very bad stomach ache.
Oh.
So but the first few pieces are very good. So I'd say a solid B minus.
I kind of like this more than the frigadilla. Just you don't get it a lot.
No, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
It's rare occasions.
Mm.
Just hassle, I think, to make it.
Really, I think it's actually quite easy to make it.
Yeah, it's just
Just
I
don't
think
get
it's
it.
just easier too. Yeah,
Yeah.
I really don't know. Well, now we're hitting the topic of oatmeals.
Ooh, oatmeal. This is a very interesting one because apparently it's a Danish thing to put milk on your oatmeal.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently. I mean, that's not a thing you do in America. Why not? Why not put goddamn milk on your oatmeal?
Yeah, I don't get it.
I mean, you all complain about being so boring all the time, and I mean, okay, putting milk on it will not make it like super duper fancy, but it does make it better than milk.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you just put oats in a bowl and then pour milk on it, and that's
Yeah.
it. You don't have to heat it. You don't have
It's
to
way
cook it.
better.
You don't have to do anything else.
Free protein.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's actually quite good. You should try it. And the rating for that is, I mean, it's not exciting, but it's a very stable, easy breakfast dish.
Yes.
So I would give it very solid B minus too.
I usually put cinnamon on it. I
I
don't
mean,
know
you
if
can do
do
that.
but
You can do that.
that's just my.
You can also you can put anything you want on it.
Yeah.
Like if you want bananas or almonds or something
Yeah.
like that, you can put that on it.
Yes.
I mean, go nuts.
All right. Another thing you can go nuts about is burgers.
Ooh, burgers. Oh, that's a classic. Very classic.
A lot of toppings.
I mean, for burgers and sandwiches in general. Oh yeah, we can do that too. Sandwiches.
Yeah, I guess it
Burgers.
goes into the same
Yeah.
topic.
Oh, that's a very tough one. I mean, I like burgers a lot, but it's not as high as burritos. And it depends a lot who makes the beef patty. I mean, for some reason, my dad makes good beef patties, and I don't know how he does it. It's just this kind of dad thing. I have no idea what he does, but they're always so soft and moisty, and I just, yeah, I'm intrigued. I'd say if my dad makes beef patties, or I get some really good one from some other place, it's a solid B plus. I really enjoy burgers,
Yeah.
but if you get some sort of soft, dry one, doesn't have very much moist, or is too moisty, when it isn't balanced finely, I'd say you'll arrive at a C. So depends a lot on how well it's cooked.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, right on to another Danish dish. All right. This one is called butterkai.
Oh, okay. All of you English speakers won't get how funny that is. But go Google it. You might be able to find some clips on it. Boller ikai. So it's meatballs and curry.
Yes.
But that doesn't tell you anything in English. It's only
No,
funny in
no.
Danish. And we won't explain it
No,
because
no,
it would be
that's
weird.
not. That would be too much.
Yeah,
to explain.
but that is a fine dish. It's not one of my favorites, but meatballs and curry is quite good. It's a solid one.
Mhm.
I'd say a C plus for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, right on to the next one. Steak.
It's a one two I don't get that often. I think that bumps it up a lot on my scale. You get it in the summer when your dad makes them on the grill outside. And that's brilliant for a warm summer day. So I'd say that is a solid B. Maybe B
Ooh,
plus. Maybe B plus.
I give it like a high A.
Oh really?
Yeah, I love me some steak.
Oh wow.
That is.
I just don't get it that
Amazing.
often. I don't remember the taste of it.
Oh,
Yeah.
fair enough.
I'd say B plus. Depends on how well you make it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could bump it up to an A if you make it like really well.
Yeah. Bread.
Yeah. Now we were getting to all the empty calories, as I call them, kind of foods. And
foods filled with carbohydrates, which
Yeah.
is basically sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate those foods. I mean, they taste good, and I still eat them sometimes, but I really, really try to shy away from them because I have a bad acne problem, like a really bad one. And if I eat any of this, it just gets multiplied so much, and it gets exceedingly worse. That's a good tip for anyone who's having acne problems. If you want to get rid of it, try just not to eat literally any carbohydrates, mostly. Not all of carbohydrates.
That's hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But eating almost none carbohydrates and only eating very high fiber carbohydrates for like a month, and I mean you'll probably have just about no acne after that. And I know it's hard. It's really hard. I can't even do it.
Yeah.
At least right now.
I mean-
I'm having an acne problem right now. I mean, if you come from literally nothing, I mean, generally I eat very healthy, but getting one slice of like white bread and I have acne problems the day after. So I have to give bread, pasta, and rice an F because I can't do it. I just can't do
Oh,
it.
no.
I mean, if you have opal, rye bread,
Yes.
and very high fiber bread,
Mm-hmm.
I can tolerate once in a while. So that is okay for me. That's a C.
Yeah.
But anything below that, I just can't do. But for rice alternatives, there is something like quinoa or linsa. Don't know what that's called in English.
No idea.
Lenses, lenses.
Maybe.
I don't know, something like that. But that's a good alternative. That's filled with fiber and proteins instead. So you have lots of good alternatives for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, but F for the basic ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. All right. Moving on. Thai food.
Oh,
And this is a general one. There's
Yeah,
a wide array of foods here.
yeah. I do like Thai food. My dad makes it like Vietnamese and Thai food. Yeah, once in a while, and it's really good. I like it. Like even just the basic ones like that my dad makes is really good. And then when you make it just spicy enough that you feel it on your tongue. Yes, it's really good. And I'd say generally Thai and Vietnamese food, that's a solid B plus for me.
I don't get it too often. It's just my parents don't make it. Yeah. We're more to the traditional, just I don't know, steak and stuff.
Oh, lots of
Yeah.
steak.
Yeah, but getting Thai food in Hong Kong is great. I mean, it's
I do
it's
imagine.
right above the Philippines and Thailand, and you get a lot of food from those general areas. So that's really awesome. But great food, Thai food. Well, moving on, crustaceans. Now here we're sort of talking about crabs and
Yeah.
lobster, I guess, shrimp, and other
Yeah.
crustacean creatures.
Yeah. We weren't sure what to call it. You just Google it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like that too, as long as it's cooked properly. It's the same thing about the fish as before. If you give it to me raw, no thank you. But if you cook it properly, I do like it.
Oh man.
So yeah, if you cook it properly, like B plus for some good crustaceans.
I love fresh shrimp. I mean, if you know.
I hate fresh shrimp. If you cook
Oh,
it, it tastes
God,
freaking
man.
great, but I hate it raw.
What are you talking about? You're crazy. I mean, if you go to Skane here in Denmark or the Senne or other stuff, you can get like all you can eat shrimp. That's freaking amazing. I mean, from the Danish waters, that's awesome. Let's get much better than that.
Yeah, oh yeah, we got lots lots of
food,
fish.
food that's
Denmark.
caught like some hours before or a day before. It's just
Yeah. Oh yeah. We have like pretty much direct access to fresh fish in Denmark, like
Yeah.
everywhere.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, next food, fruit.
Yeah, I'm a very special guy, and it's become kind of my unique niche trait to be the guy who does not like fruit. Yeah. Yeah, and the people don't get it. Yeah, I mean it's really weird, but I just honestly do not like fruit. And I think it's just the kind of thing where my body just naturally does not like high sugar, high carbohydrate stuff. It doesn't
Yeah, I
react well
guess
to it.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. So I just don't like fruit. I mean, it's an E or something for me. I can eat it. I can eat an apple, but I do not fancy it or enjoy it. And like a banana, I'm fine with that too. I mean, that's one of the best ones for me. Um, but otherwise, like for example, strawberries. Everybody loves strawberries. I do not like it.
They're kind of overrated.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, one person who agrees
But
with me, sort of.
Jag behöver flöde.
Oh,
That is.
No,
It doesn't get much better than
strawberries
that.
and whipped cream doesn't matter.
Ah.
No. Yeah, no, I don't like it. I just don't like it.
But you do like vegetables.
Oh, I do like vegetables. I mean, all the fruits I don't like has been substituted with vegetables I do like. So like kale and broccoli, all that kind of stuff. Carrots. I mean, I can't name all of them. Spinach. All of it pretty much. I mean, you can probably come up with a few vegetables I don't like, but I pretty much like all of them.
Yeah.
And I'll eat them
Asparagus
gladly.
is good.
Yeah, asparagus is good too.
Broccoli, yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, I don't think I
Yeah.
think it's very hard to come up with one I don't like. So like vegetables in general for me are definitely an A.
Mm.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, water.
Oh, water is
liquid instead.
water is my savior. I do not drink anything but water.
Ooh.
Yes. Water is. Oh, you forgot one.
Ah. Damn.
But yeah, water is good. Water is
That's good.
easy A plus. It's my go-to drink for everything. I literally don't drink anything else except the
Okay.
carbonated water once in a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So that's just to vary it up. I mean, you can have different kinds of water. You can have normal water, hot water. That doesn't taste so good, but it's an
That's
option.
terrible.
Then you can
That
have
would
you
be
can have
pretty
salted water that doesn't taste so good either. But
salted water.
yeah, I don't know. It's very bad. But,
Oh wait, that's actually good. I like that.
really like salted water. I don't drink salted water.
I mean, if it goes like I remember, what's it called? We had
But
this
then you can have
brand.
carbonated water. So carbonated water and normal water.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, and I don't drink anything but that.
Yes.
What were you
I was
thinking
just trying
about?
to think about the brand that we had in Hong Kong for salted water. It's
Oh.
called Sweet. I think it's Sweet Pocari Sweet.
Okay,
That was a brand of salted water, and that was amazing.
I don't think you get salted water in Denmark. I've never seen a brand.
Pocari Sweet. That's amazing.
What about that little
Af-
bottle
after-
you brought home once from Hong Kong and you had me taste it? The little bottle of
Yes.
like white shit that was so
Oh, what the
sugary
fuck are you
and
talking about?
sour.
That's literally my childhood. What the hell?
It was so bad. Like, what is that called?
It's called Yakult.
Yakult.
Yeah, and I think it's in some few other countries outside of the Hong
It's
Kong.
like some sort of sour
or
milk
Asian countries.
gone overdue. It was so bad.
No,
It was the worst thing
What are
I've
you
ever
talking
tasted.
about? it's literally my childhood. What the hell?
Yeah, well, poor you.
Oh no. Yeah, that sucks, man.
Yeah, it really did suck bad.
Oh, well, snacks, nuts.
Yeah, nuts. Nuts are pretty much the only snack that is worth putting high on the scale. Because all other snacks, pretty much, we'll get to that, make you feel like absolute hell. But nuts are really good. They have actual substantial calories.
Mm.
So nuts are an easy A plus. I live by nuts, definitely.
Yeah, I like them too. I feel like I might have some sort of mild allergy towards them.
Really?
I don't get any sort of allergic reaction, but I get a stomachache every time.
Every
I
time?
eat a lot.
Every time you eat a lot.
Just a tiny bit, then no problem. But
What do you mean by eating a lot? Like 50 grams?
yeah, I'm more than that.
More than that?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're eating more than that, you're eating a lot then too.
Yeah, yeah.
How
is
many
a
can
lot.
you eat at a time? Jesus Christ.
I just take a bowl up to my grill, and that's the snack
They're
of the
gone.
day.
then they're gone.
Oh man. All right. The opposite of water, basically, soda.
Yeah. No. I used to drink soda a lot when I was a kid, and I mean soda does taste good, but then at some point I stopped I don't really remember how exactly I stopped it, but I just stopped, and I don't fancy soda anymore. So it's I mean, yeah, I don't really know I have any reason why I would ever drink it again. Like even if I was offered it, so I'll just go. I mean, E minus. It's not an F, but it's just E minus.
I like it. I mean, it's definitely not healthy, but you know, I drink a Coca-Cola once in a while.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola's-
But I mean, you can manage it. I mean, you don't get as bad acne
Yeah.
as I do if I drank a Coca-Cola. So
I need the calories. It's.
yeah.
I mean, it's
you're super
basically
thin,
the
so.
only reason I eat my scrambled eggs and fried eggs and toast. It's just for the extra calories.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I then stay away from the carbohydrates, but
Yeah, but
it
you
has a
don't-
lot of calories.
doesn't
so
seem
it's-
to have the same intolerances as I do to
Yeah,
much
that's
calorie
not too
like
bad.
carbohydrates. So
Yeah.
I mean, you seem to manage it much better than I do.
Yeah.
So I
Lucky
mean, that's
me.
just how different we all are, depending on the
Oh yeah.
on foods. I mean, we can all tolerate different things.
Yeah.
So it's different to know. It's very important to know yourself when coming to food and everything else.
All right.
Right.
Well, ice cream.
The one dessert I really like, I don't think it's good for me. I think it still gives me still gives me acne, but I do like it very much. I mean, yeah, it doesn't give me as bad acne as something like chocolate would. I mean, I eat like 50 grams of chocolate and I am full with a stomach ache and acne the next day. I really can't tolerate it. But ice cream, I mean, I can eat it without feeling bad, and I have only mild acne.
Wow.
So yeah, definitely high one. I mean, it's not good, but it tastes very good. I do enjoy it, and I'd say for desserts, it's an easy A minus.
Now we're talking. Yeah. How about popsicles? Sort of sub brand of ice cream.
Popsicles,
You know,
like frozen ice cream,
Yeah.
like Saftevents ice cream.
Yeah.
No,
Solvencies.
yeah, Solvencies. Yeah, no, I don't like that either. Same reason I don't like soda.
All right.
It takes a bad, like away the good part of ice cream that I enjoy about yeah, what do you call that? The normal type of ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah, okay, just ice cream.
I guess.
Call it flullis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Call it flullis in Danish. It means cream ice.
Ice cream.
Yes.
Oh god.
Exactly.
Oh, cream ice. I love cream ice.
Oh, I do love cream ice too.
No ice cream.
But then what do you call? Okay, so you call it the other thing popsicles.
Yeah.
My God. God, English is weird.
Oh,
There's not even ice cream anywhere in there.
yeah.
I guess it's not a cream. It's just ice.
Solvencies.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, whatever. Yeah, ice cream is good.
Yeah, ice cream is good.
But, cake.
Yeah, okay. I can. Cake gives me tons of acne. So
Oh.
only the super sugar-free high fiber cakes. So if you make like vendbagels, true pastry,
Mm-hmm.
or pancakes without sugar and full grain wheat. Yeah, wheat. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Then you can. Then I can tolerate it, at least a bit. But if we're talking chocolate cake or any usual orthodox cakes,
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
I dislike cake in general, just completely.
Yeah, yeah.
It sucks.
Yeah, you just don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it comes from my gluten allergy that I had as a child. I never got to eat cake at birthdays or anything. Always had my separate little dessert snack.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So you just don't eat it.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I just never.
You don't care.
I just never had it as a child,
Yeah.
and therefore, it doesn't live up to the high standard that everyone
Yeah.
gives it.
No, I'm the complete opposite. I had such a ton when I was a kid,
Wow.
and I still like it now, but I just
Yeah, I just
feel
couldn't-
shit when I eat it.
Yeah, I
so.
just couldn't get it as a child.
Yeah. Okay. Complete opposites.
But yeah, I do enjoy the carrot cake.
Mm.
That's
Well,
good.
you can definitely make
It's
some
almost
very
like
good
a
cakes.
cake.
Yeah.
But yeah. But moving on, we've got chocolate.
Yeah. Well, that one is very bad too. I mean, I do like the taste. I mean, we're a chocolate family. My sister loves chocolate. My dad loves chocolate, and I used to really like it too. But honestly, it's the food we just talked about that makes me feel the worst.
Oh.
So yeah, it's a pass for me. It's an F.
I mean, I eat it whenever we have it, but I don't know. I don't really crave it or seek out after it. It's just I like it. I think we both like dark chocolate the most.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
White chocolate sucks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's
And milk
ass.
chocolate as
Yeah.
well. That's also terrible. By the way, white chocolate is not chocolate. That is literally not chocolate. There's no cocoa powder. No cocoa powder. It's only cocoa butter. No cocoa powder.
It's no
chocolate.
cocoa powder. Yeah.
Therefore, no chocolate.
Yeah, no chocolate.
Okay. Gummy bears.
Gummy bears.
Yeah, we're just digging into the dessert. Alright.
Yeah, it's all desserts.
Unhealthy stuff.
Yeah. Oh, gummy bears I used to eat a lot too when I was a kid. I mean, I was such an unhealthy kid, to be honest. I had so much fat shit. But yeah, I don't even eat that anymore. I haven't eaten that for ages.
Yeah.
So
Same.
it's an F.
How about chips? Potato chips.
Oh, I don't even have to describe that. It's an F.
Ooh, what? Ooh.
Oh, but it's empty calories for me. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Gives me and I feel like I've said that so many times now. It gives me acne.
Yeah, that's probably the thing that gives me the most acne when I get it. But yeah, I like it kind of.
The problem is just it's so many calories, or so many carbohydrates calories that
Yeah,
are just
yeah, potatoes do have
insatiable
more
at all.
carbohydrates, yeah.
yeah they just don't satiate you at all, and just full of salt to make you keep eating and keep being hungry. So you just keep eating it. And
Yeah.
just eat 200 grams of it because it should be like 800 calories.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, 600 calories of them are just carbohydrates.
Yeah.
They just flow into your tubes.
But,
Your acne said tubes.
Pores.
Oh my god, you got the words.
Hell yeah. Well, that was it
Point
for
genius.
the
Yeah, it was actually quite a long sign-up segment.
Jesus Christ.
The food ratings were
I mean,
spicy.
If you stuck through the like 25 minutes that we've listed topics to rate, good job.
Yeah, good job, man. But I mean, you learned a lot.
Yes.
You know what foods are good now.
Yeah. Hopefully
Yeah, you know
can
how
take
to,
that into your good habit eating skills.
Precisely, you know how to approximately avoid acne now. Due to my long rant about how these foods give me acne and
Oh,
these
God.
foods don't.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you don't have an acne problem, good for you, man. I envy you. But if you do, you might want to try some of this out. It
Yeah.
might help you.
That was our segment.
That
Which
was.
was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. That was a pretty good spontaneous one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we might just do a rating for something else next week. I mean, that might be fun. Yeah. So, dum. That's it for this week. Yeah, I have nothing else.
I have nothing else. Thank you all for listening.
Yeah, thank you all so much. I mean,
Great episode. Always
Exactly.
happy to
Yeah, I mean,
to do these things.
it's only the fourth time we've been on air, and it's
Yes.
already so much better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really happy for it. And thank you so much for listening. Or one listener.
One listener.
One listener.
No, we're always happy.
Yeah, we're always happy. It's been great.
Yes.
Thank you, and we will see you, hopefully, next week with habits.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.